I am Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers. We are a group of friends who play games remotely due to living in different states. Today I'm going to be talking about Monolith Arena. What do I think about it? And I'm going to be ranking all of the armies that they have. Unfortunately, it's most likely the most recent Golems expansion army is the last army that will be coming out. So the 6 that we have, looks like that's it. So let's go ahead and talk about them. But first, let's go over Monolith Arena. Now, I love Neuroshima Hex, and I have a few videos out on that, including how to play it remotely, as well as what I think about that and the armies of those. So if you want to know how to play Monolith Arena, it is almost exactly like Neuroshima Hex, with the exception of the Monoliths, which I will go over now. Okay, so here we have the board. These numbers are strictly for remote play. If you want to know how to play remotely, just go ahead and go over to my Neuroshima Hex how to play remotely video and see that. For the Monoliths, I would not recommend playing with these remotely unless all sides have a copy, and then they would just follow the normal rules. Just at the beginning of the game, when you fill it, you would just fill it off screen. And then when you go to lay down your banner, you would just say, hey, I'm going to place it on 16. The other sides do not need to know what is inside it. So about these banners, they're actually pretty awesome because you can put any actual physical tile on the inside, and then you can cover it up with your banner. And if you are playing with it in person, you really cannot see what is on the inside, which I really like. So the banners is during your turn, after you gather up the tiles and discard one, you can decide to either play those tiles out or expand out your monolith. So this banner will always stay the same, so it'll stay in number 16. And then these can go anywhere as long as one of the sides touches another piece of the banner. So if this would be over here, this could not be placed over here. It could go in any of these spots though. Once a battle occurs, sometimes these can go away. And then once the battle is over, they would all get filled back in. And then later on, when you go to pull it back out, you could fill that with one from your hand, for instance. That would be your choice. However, if one of them is netted, then it could not go back up at the end of the battle because this is netted, it cannot move. If your banner is netted, then it still would get back up at the end of the battle because the banner technically is not moving. So that's basically how banners work. The only other change that is with Monolith Arena is the multiplayer rules. It comes with these nice tokens to show which team you're on, as well as a team health track, because anytime you take damage, your team's health goes down. And it also comes with a current player marker, so that way you could easily see whose player turn it is, because sometimes it can get a little tricky when you're in the middle of the battle and be like, wait, whose turn was it? So that is pretty nice. And as far as the monoliths for themselves, I really do love all the detail with these. They did a really nice job printing them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the armies themselves. So we will go ahead and start with my least favorite, number 6, or the academics. So this one, it did seem to be built around the idea of having the monoliths in play. Otherwise, the timing of your units that come out can be very hard because this army is very reliant on mana charging. If you can get your armies out, they are rather weak, but then when they're mana charged, they get super strong. So you really need them to be out before you get all the ones that can mana charge. And I've had a lot of games that order just wasn't there. So you can pretty much guarantee that with a monolith, you can get a couple of your nicer armies out. And then if you get those supercharged ones early on, you can supercharge those. Although sometimes I have run into where I get all of my armies out and then all of the mana charges come at the end after they've already been battled away. Because of course your opponent wants to get rid of them before they get very strong. But with that said, putting this rune of memorization, which is kind of like Vegas, it controls your enemy units. If you put that in your monolith, you can easily get out a control, and then mana charging it up makes it that you control 3 units. It makes it very difficult for the opponents to be able to reach you. And some people say that this tile with the monoliths is broken, so they house rule that you can't put that in the monolith. So, you know, play that as you will. So I do really like the headquarters with academics. It reduces the enemy units by 1, so it's kind of a very defensive one, while it's the opposite of Borgo, which increases its friendly units by 1 and can be kind of a offensive. So you try to not only protect your headquarters by killing off the things that have lower initiative before it hurts you, but it also gives you higher initiative to be able to hit their headquarters faster before your units get hurt. So I do really like that kind of change to Neuroshima Hex that provides. And then this army also does come out with a little mini bomb. Instead of it covering a large area like Moloch, it covers just 3 hexes. Now we do see this in another army, which I do like, and I will mention at that point. I really like those bombs because they just come in so handy. And then we have like the terror that you get in Steel Police or Smart. It's called Darkness here. Basically, it means until the start of your next turn, no one can lay a tile on the board. So basically, it's they can only use battles or move abilities, just nothing that puts a tile physically on the board, which is nice. And then, of course, it also can mana charge, so you have to decide which one of those 2 you want to do. Number 5 is one from the base game called Dragon Empire. So this one is pretty cool. It has these charge ability, which you can do instead of playing a battle. You can charge, which this will still end your turn. But basically, you move a tile and then attack a unit. So you have to be able to move to charge. So it is kind of nice. You have to have that ability, but then you can just get rid of an annoying piece. And there is a rune that stays on the board that makes it so that once per turn, you could play this and then it would end your turn when you do it. But any of your units with charge could move. So if you have an annoying piece that maybe is making it so you can't reach the other person's headquarters, you can charge up to it and attack it, and then hopefully you'll be able to get it so that you can attack their headquarters with that. And this one also comes with a nice ability to just net something, kind of like Shrosh's ability to just take something out of a battle. This, you would just net a unit for that battle. At the end of it, it comes off, so it cannot attack. It can still be attacked. So it's not like the sand runners where you put that tile and it creates a sandstorm right on top of that tile where nothing can get through. While that tile can't attack, it cannot be attacked. This just makes it so that it can't attack, but it could still get hurt. Number 4 is Guardians of the Realm. This one kind of reminds me of New York, mainly because the headquarters provides a line of defense. So all the units around it get 1 extra toughness. It also has this nice order that is not a permanent tile, but it makes it so that you can just instantly give a toughness to whatever tile you want to make it a little bit harder to kill. So if you have something right up against their headquarters, then you can make it so that the headquarters attack won't hurt it, or if something's going to be attacking it before it gets a chance to go off, it would survive that attack. So I do really like that just sudden ability to just help defend one position. We also have the mini bomb, so I do really like this. Just the ability to attack whatever little section you want while it hurts friendly and unfriendly. It is just really nice to be able to get rid of some problem tiles that are causing you massive headaches. And with it being a smaller bomb, it is easier to get just that tile that's really aggravating you. And then finally, something I really love about this army is called the Rune of Penetration. And one of these days I will be mature enough to be able to say that with a straight face. So what this one does is it turns a ranged attack into a Gauss Canyon. It will attack everything in that line, kind of similar to the Gauss Canyons that Smart has. So if this would be attached to it, you would be doing 2 attacks this way all the way through that line on the one. So I really do like that. It provides much more force behind these units. Then number 3, Lords of the Abyss. This reminds me of the Mississippi Army. So its headquarters has what's called Venom. So any of its units attached to it go ahead and adds Venom to it. So that way when they're attacking, not only do they do their normal ranged or melee attack, they'll add venom to whatever they attack, and then at the beginning of the next battle, whatever has venom takes 1 hit point per venom that it has. So these could be very deadly, very fast. So I do really like that aspect. This also has runes of disarmament. Basically, this is like the paralysis ones. So basically, it makes it so that the units that are here in these 2 spots cannot attack when it's their turn to go off. I do really like that you can take out a troubled unit from being able to cause any damage and then be able to just get rid of that one, or just leave it be and protect this tile instead. And then some tiles in Lords of the Realm have this symbol on them, which means that it can teleport. So once per turn, this tile can move anywhere. So it can move from one tile all the way across the board to another tile. So I do really like that. The new Beast Armies for Neuroshima Hex has these vultures, which they can at the end of battle move anywhere. And they're also flying, so they can't be melee attacked, which is really cool. But these, like once per turn, being able to just move it, so if you really need it to be attacking the headquarters, you can. But if you really need to defend against a net somewhere, granted this does go off on 2, so it is a little bit limited on being able to get rid of some trouble tiles if they're really fast, or if you want tiles to go off that are netted, that are higher than a 2 or 2. But I do really like it. It is nice to be able to have that flexibility. And then another one that is like the Steel Police Executioner is this one. So this one, and do excuse the pink screen, it kind of goes a little bit crazy on colors close to it. So this one, it has this symbol, so that means it can just go on top of another enemy unit. So if this unit is driving you insane and giving you a really hard time, you can just go ahead and place this unit right on top of it, taking the other unit off. And of course, being able to put it anywhere you want. So granted, it's a little bit slow, but man, if you could get these to go off on that headquarters, that's an awful powerful amounts of damage. Number 2 is Harbingers of the Forest. I really like Smart. That is my favorite army from Neuroshima Hex. And this headquarters does the same thing. You can place a friendly on any side, and then you can move it once per turn. I love having that flexibility, so this army just makes me want to sing, and I absolutely adore it. A few other tiles that I really like are this one is kind of like the one from Sharash. The explosion, it's called Morlock, I think is how you pronounce that. But before a battle begins, it will defeat any tile that's in this area, and it doesn't matter if it's connected to a healing rune, it will just be gone. So will this tile, but so worth it to get rid of some troubled ones. Then I also really like this Hunter, because it's not only ranged, but it goes off on 3 and 0. I really like that spread. It seems really unique, and that's something that I do really enjoy. Something that I love about the Mississippi is the shadow. You can place it up in a corner and then just have it hit wherever you want. That combined with the ability to poison the other person's headquarter is just phenomenal. But this time we have the Assassin. So this one you can just again place anywhere and then be able to hit something on a speed of 1. I do really like that flexibility as well. The Harbingers of the Forest is a very flexible one. I do really enjoy having the ability to just move things around, to be able to hit things anywhere. It's just a really good feeling one. And then finally, my number 1 army of all time for Monolith Arena is the newest expansion, Golems. So the simple reason why I love this one is, for its namesake, the Golems. So in Golems, you have these tiles. This one is one that builds, and it builds something with its like symbol. And these, what I love about them is the deterioration of health. So this one you can see, of course, some are very poppy and then some are kind of diminished. So when this is out, you get a ranged and a melee on this one. But after it gets hit, you know that you will just have a ranged because this melee is slightly diminished. Also, it goes off on a 3 and a 1, but this 1 is kind of funky looking because the 1, guessed it, going away too. So once it takes damage, no matter how much, it could take 20 health points of damage, and it would still just turn over. And then it would be, look at that, pink screen going crazy. And then of course it would be down to just those that were diminished before and just the 3. But that is all 6 armies. Of course, I love Monolith Arena. I love Neuroshima Hex. I just love that system in general. Kind of like as Z Garcia says, a knife fight in a phone booth. You really get the feeling that you are just in this constricted space and you have to deal with what you're drawing and you're trying to protect your own while damaging theirs, and just how you make those decisions on what you get. It's just a fun little nice 20-minute game. So it can be one that you play over and over and over in a night, or it could be just a starter, something to get the juices flowing and make it so that your game night can go and everyone's in high spirits. So of course the Monolith Arena is a 10 out of 10 for me, in case that wasn't obvious by how much I love all of these armies, as well as how much I love Neuroshima Hex. But I do hope that this gives you an idea for what armies you might really like, and if you want to pick up the 2 expansions that it has. And who knows, maybe it can help revitalize Monolith Arena so we can get more expansions? Hey Gnassi, what do you say? Anywho, until next time, just remember to have fun, be present, and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you find value in our content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Let a friend or family member know that we exist. Help us spread our channel and bring remote gaming to a table near you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.